much as you're trading, right? Have something you're doing. Don't just staying indoors is not that good. So this is Bitcoin in general, and I still feel like we are either going to range here. There's a chance we could range here, right? Trade around here and maybe continue higher, but I'm betting that we will run this high again. Now, if you ask me where, I don't know. But I mean, when, I wouldn't tell. Can we get another push like this? Possibly. I would love to see something like this here. If price breaks through either this, which also is a bit tricky, but this one is sure better. If price closes above that, so you have two zones. Either price pushes up there, retests, continues higher, or this one breaks above that and continues higher. So you have a choice to take these buys on these two scenarios. Long position here. There or here. If you ask me which one is safer, I would say this one, yeah. This is one. Wait. I saw Kojo Forex saying this thing could even get to 130, which is like way above. So this is not much. Anyways, so these are some setups worth considering when it comes to trading Bitcoin in the next week, yeah. And somehow I would argue that I feel like Bitcoin is way, it's only that some brokers, like for me, my Exness account doesn't have Bitcoin. Otherwise, I'd be trading it by now. I would be trading it. So I'm trying to look for either pro-firms which have, we have pro-firms which specifically trade, only allow cryptocurrency trading, yeah, with a leverage of 1:10. All right, is it 1:10 or 20? Anyways, Jquay basket. I wanna clear all these. Remove these drawings. And then let's talk. Let's look at this chart from a monthly chart for actually. Now we've run this high. That has already happened. That is the last 2 months, yeah? We've run that high. And now price is rejecting, right? Price is rejecting. Now how far can it go down? I would argue price can easily run this slow. Okay. But it's December. We don't expect much price action. So how far down can it go? I would say the midpoint of this whole swing. Right there. And also this is the second week of the month. So we could also argue that price has already created the monthly high, monthly high. Now, whether the monthly low will be here or here, that's really all we want is to see some bearish momentum. Yeah. Now, if I go to the, I can actually remove this now. Yeah. If I go to the weekly, and now I have some specific zones, and it's a bit clearer. So we have this resistance that was broken, right? Drop, push up here, broken. So we could get a retest of that. How far can it go? We have this candle here and the whole of filling this whole imbalance in general. So now when I come to the weekly, I just refined my drop here. I'm expecting price to drop back to this point. Yeah, I just refined it. So if I go to the daily time frame now, I have a theory. All I need is to see price drop below here. Okay. Okay, let me even refine this to this low here. Retest, and then I'm gonna take the sell with stop loss on this high. So let me remove this. First, I'll send it on the group, in the group, yeah. So the setup will look something like this. Short position. And this low will be my TP1, yeah. The reason you're going to see some rejection here is because of this candle, which can also easily give us a buy. All right. If I wanted to take, if I was bullish, I would have taken a buy here with a stop loss on this and expect price to continue higher from here. But now I'm bearish. So as much as it will give me some buying, I would expect that this candle to hold the bullish aggressiveness up there. It should repel that move, yeah. And then maybe we get a sell. So this is my current theory. If I go to the 4 hours and I'm bearish, then it means if price drops below this candle here, yeah, this candle. For now, I have a clear imbalance here, which can be used as an inverted fair value gap, and it has clearly rejected here. We broke this low, of course, yeah. Yeah, so all I want to see is, does it want to reject, right? Does it want to reject? So you're basically expecting price to drop below here. If it doesn't do that, you're not taking any trades, all right? You're not taking any trades. So this is what we have. Yeah, you're expecting price to drop below here and then retrace to this point before continuing. Yeah, so our specific sell should be taken around here when it breaks below this point, yeah, which I feel like dropping here is kind of obvious. There's a very high chance it can drop here. But if it pushes up, we are not going to have any entry. If it just retests this high, yeah, that is something like that, and then continues higher, you're probably not going to have any entries for the week. I mean, something like this, and instead of dropping all the way, it retests this high here, and then continues higher, yeah, this way. Now that one is not something we're working with, so we want to watch out on that one. Let me share this. Ah, yeah. Damn, all of you are here. I like it. I like it. I like it. Just that today I am definitely feeling a lot. So the energy is a bit down, yeah. Now we are done with JPY basket. That means we can look at USD JPY, right? So last week our plan was this, but price, instead of triggering us here, this thing dropped, yeah, and went almost 3/4 ways of my entries, yeah, or rather of my targeted area. So let me clear this chart, and then we can restructure this whole analysis, try to see what we can work with. Monthly chart. This is USD JPY's monthly chart. Now we've had this support there. We also had, okay, these are resistance that was broken, yeah? So I had that one. But I want to be specific with this one. And I'm also looking at, let me remove this here, but I just took your attention to that point too, yeah? Now, last week, I wanted to see price drive inside this point, okay? Which it's still not managing to do. And it's still possible. We always have that scenario. So question is, which side will you be on, yeah? Which side will you be on? For now, we worked on the almost in the upper quadrant of it, or not quadrant, but the upper half, this whole thing. Then I still have some inverted gap here, this one. And ideally, this should work as a resistance. So when I see price rejecting at this point, it begs the question, will price really fill this gap immediately? Now, also remember that I can't expect price to really run this high. That is not something I expect. So how far would I expect? If I'm expecting price to go higher, how far would that be? Right? So I have this, let me do something like that. And then I have this. Ideally, this candle should close here. Yeah, if it's going to be bullish. So I drew that, just drew that line, very important zone. And now that's my draw. All right, that's my draw. You see this wick, that wick on its own, the half of it, yeah, that area, mostly it will act as an imbalance in some cases. And in this case, that's what I'm relying on. I would say that price may drive up there. So when I get to the weekly chart, you see clearly what is up here. Yeah, see what is up there. Also, we have this imbalance here, very clean imbalance. That means price may want to feel that. Yeah. So let's see how this plays out. But we can easily target here, this point right there. Assuming we just want to see price fill this area, not even try to run all the way high, not even try to run here, but fill this. Whether it drops or goes down from here, whether it drops or goes higher, we won't really have an issue because our target was here, right? So how do we get an entry? What will we be looking for in this scenario? You see this bearish candle here, this one. If Monday opens and it's bullish, okay, and it doesn't run this high, I repeat, if Monday opens, instead of dropping, it continues higher and closes above this candle right here, then I'll confirm my bullishness, yeah? That is a bullish engulfing candlestick kind of thing. If that happens, I would argue that this candle may not necessarily drop. I remember talking of when we see a zone like this break, mostly this is the retest and then a drop. But immediately after the drop, most of the time you'll get price now getting back to the premium. As much as we've had our structure shift here, now we get back to the premium area where we can look for sales, right? Where we can look for sales. So simply put, we are trying to have something like this. I already explained why I'm going to target this area, right? Now let's have this push, retest, push up. On the 4 hours, it may be a bit cleaner. Yeah. On the 4 hours, it's showing you clearly. When price breaks this resistance here, you're just going to take your buy on that retest here. When price breaks this resistance, you can take your buy on this retest. Mind you, price can open and still drop. Okay, there's nothing preventing price from doing that. It can open, almost immediately drop, maybe to this point. Yeah, right here. That is the extreme area I would so price can get if the analysis of price being bullish is actually correct. Yeah, so we either have something like this, drop, push up, drop, continuity, something like this. So we're having the first bias. If price opens and drops here, and then we get this structure shift considering this high, and then this drop, probably you'll have a bullish engulfing here. Yeah? We can take a buy here with a stop loss on this low here, yeah? One that will be here. But if that doesn't happen, we are staying away from this market. What if the market opens and just runs this high? We're going to take that buy with the retest, right? So you have two potential buys here. For this case, your stop loss should be right there. And then you can target around this point. This will be enough for the week. Yeah? I want you to note how my analysis will always go hand in hand with what I look at on USD, or rather on JPY index. Yeah, it's not you'll ever see me trying to have two theories, or rather two contradicting theories when it comes to JPY basket and USD JPY. If one is buying, the other one should be selling. That's that's your style. Yeah, long position. What if this gets triggered? It means that this area we are also going to add some buys. Yeah, buy here and then buy here. So we have these two on USD JPY. And for sales, I'm not considering. And again, I've said I'm not taking these buys immediately. I want to see price touch here, and if we can get a bullish engulfing here, it would be so nice. The retest of that is giving me a buy here, and I'm gonna have the stop loss right below there, and then I'll expect price to run this high first, which will be my TP1 and my TP2, and then this will be my TP3. Ideally, we just want to see price retest this low. Yeah. We won't even chase price after that. Euro USD and DXY. For that one, you always want to start with DXY. I remember talking about this cell. See this cell here? Very specific cell, yeah? Very specific cell. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful, as you can see. Very nice. But here's the catch. Let me remove everything once again. Remember, we've said that DXY, or rather in December, there is a high likelihood the price is going to range. Yeah, price is going to range. Oof. I can't close this. The market is, yeah, the market is closed for now. Let's just have okay. I want to remove this shade here. That I can have a clean chart, positions, profits. Yes. Where is that? Whatever. Okay. Monthly chart. Now, understand that if DXY was gonna you know, drop, that would be like the first targeted area. And that would be an obvious zone to target. There's a chance it could get here. And this can happen like tomorrow, right? It can happen like tomorrow where we just have a weekly opening up which just runs inside this vacuum block here. Yeah? See this? Nothing is random. Nothing is random. Okay? Then we have this area here. So this support and a resistance here, which ultimately had held a lot. If you prolong this, rather you push it like this. I'm trying to combine ICT with retail here. So you can argue that this area is a point of interest, yeah? But from an ICT perspective, we are clearly expecting price to get to this block right there. But if you look at it from another perspective, you see that we had a fair value gap here, which has been filled. And that in itself could also give us a buy. So what would you want to get a trade here? As much as I'm willing to assume the price will drop here, daily chart. Here's the thing. If price drops here, or rather if price breaks below this point there, then we can expect it to get there. Maybe we can start looking for buys, yeah? Something like this. What if price just opens and closes above this candle on Monday? Then we could expect price to continue higher. Either way, having this sell right now is a bit risky. We should be looking for buys, yeah? We should be looking for buys. Either this one or this one. So if price opens and just runs up, this is something worth considering on Tuesday. If it drops, then this is worth considering tomorrow, anytime, any day. If it touches here, one can look for a buy. For our chart, so the 4 hours is a bit clearer. We're just having a trend, yeah, a downtrend, which is making higher lows and lower lows. Is it lower highs and lower lows? So this is possible, but you want to wait for this one, and then you want to take this buy. Similarly, you can also do the same here, but you have to see price push up first, yeah? It would be even better if this happened here. Okay? If price breaks above that area, you can take this. The stop loss on this low. I'm talking of this area. And then expect price to do something like this. If I'm asked, I would love this one, yeah, personally. And I'm aggressive enough to take the buy here, but I'm not that Like I've told you, I'm not feeling well. I don't want to add more stress to my problems. Yeah. So I prefer to just watch and have one trade. Yeah. One trade. Like I've been holding Bitcoins for some time, and you can see like this weekend it has just been ranging. The good thing is that you're holding from before Trump, so it's a bit safe as of now. Yeah? It's a bit safe. Okay, so that is DXY. Two theories, either this one or this one. Yeah, one of them probably will happen, but I can't chase a sell. That's very specific. Yeah, I would never chase a sell. Okay, then we have Euro USD. Yeah, Euro USD. And like I've told you, the only news that we have we should be looking out for is CPI, right? Is CPI. So on Euro USD, right? Depending on what DXY does, right, we could see this maturing very easily. This is so much possible, yeah? But again, we've had a ranging market. We've had a ranging market. That means Euro can easily sell from where it is right now, yeah? So let's look at the monthly chart to see where we would expect some sort of effect. Yeah. What's the most idealistic way of approaching Euro USD this week? Now, like we said previously, is it last week, but one? It would have been nice if Euro USD retested that high or even tried to fill this whole gap, but there's also a chance where this is left open, maybe for January to fill or whatever, or it can be used in the future as an inverted fair value gap. But here's the catch: what if price wants to actually drop? Yeah, which is also very possible. If CPI is good for the dollar, where we're having a strong dollar, then Euro will definitely run this low, and we probably will be heading here. Yeah, probably will be heading here. So how far can Euro go to the upside? As of now, if we are trying to even say the price can sell this point here or fill this holding, that is immediate rebalancing. Yeah. So weekly time frame. Now you see here we have a small imbalance, right? We have a very small imbalance. Now price can do something like this. We can get there and then continue dropping, which is the most idealistic one. Yeah. But then you can't just take the sell. You can have a drop, right? Where assuming this will be the high of the month, then price can easily just drop the whole of next week. Next week, but once opens and retests this low before continuing lower. Right? You have the daily chart. Now on the daily chart, we've run a significant amount of highs and left a week above. Now, normally you'd have an approach to this one. You'd have an approach to this kind of trading method. There is a point where you would expect price to try and get, yeah, okay, something like this, and then you expect a drop. That means, say Monday opens, touches here, and then drops here, ultimately maybe even closing lower than Friday's low. But this is a zone worth considering. 4 hours can be a bit cleaner. Yeah. On the 4 hours, you can see we've had a clean bearish engulfing and a clean structure shift too. Yeah. something like this, push up, drop, pretest, sell. It's so clear. It's more like what you're seeing here, yeah? This buy that came off that area specifically. So the same candlestick pattern is here. I don't know how I feel about this, but it can easily just sell from now. Depends on what DXY will do. If DXY opens and just drops, right? Just drops, then price will try to touch here or even go higher. All you need to do is be patient. Yeah, wait for your setup to play out. Wait for your setup to play out. But I don't think it's good to look for buys as of now. That wouldn't be idealistic. Yeah, you can wait for a drop to happen. Since now you know you're looking for sales, yeah, you have plenty of ways you can approach that. You either wait for this drop, whole of it, to work out, which can encompass, yeah, if that's the word, this whole week's price action. Yeah, remember we have this gap here, which price has not yet filled technically. Yeah, so this could happen. That means price can easily just open and drop. But you see this area on the 4 hours, it may not be clear, but on the lower time frames, you see the structure shift here. And most of the time, we wouldn't expect it to just sell from the retest. Most of the time goes a bit higher and maybe retests this resistance again. So when it gets here, I think it would be fine to try and set short here. You want to short at this point with a stop loss just a bit higher and expect price to drop. Expect price to drop. That is very, very much possible. If it doesn't happen that way, there's always the part where you're waiting for this whole drop to work out here. If you want to force issues in totality, you can wait for something like this. I mean, this low is also strong, yeah? And if you're not sure with this sell up here, if price just opens and just push, you can wait for this. Okay? You can take the sell here. This can yield at least 70 pips on euro. Two theories. So we either take the sell here or here. Yeah? We take the sell here or here. Any question? Short position. Good to have a clean setup there. Okay, that is very, very important. But again, even here, you're not just taking the sell. You want to see this pattern, yeah? You want to see this pattern before it. Always retests, yeah? That way you can take the sell. But not when price hits here immediately, you're no, don't take the sell immediately. Yeah, you can easily just wait for retest and then drop. So this is what we have for Euro USD. Why am I targeting here? Because it's not like I expect price to run this low this month. As much as it's possible, I don't want to be that aggressive. It's December, especially this next week, but one we are hitting date 20. So there is no point of chasing much. Yeah? You get a good setup, you hold, you done for the week. So you have that right there. That's the weekly forecast for USD JPY, Euro USD, JPY basket ish. Okay, and the rest, yeah. Anyone with a question? Again, I repeat, all these things depend on you being patient. If the exact thing you plan doesn't happen, you can't take that trade. Assuming we've looked at the XY and we think that it's gonna continue dropping, then there is no point of trying to buy, of selling Euro USD. Yeah? In fact, if you look at DXY and DXY is dropping, and as much as Euro USD has given you the sign to enter the sales, don't do that. Yeah, it's pretty much the same with USD JPY. The signal, the confirmation has to come from JPY basket. You can hold a losing trade on on USD JPY because JPY basket is reacting in a specific way. Yeah, because if that's doing that, then USD JPY will still follow the line. Right now, it may just be playing around. Yeah, that is some of the ways I used to stick. You can have a running trade which is in losses in your line. Do I close or do I still hold? You can look at, if it's a USD pair, you can look at the XY, or if it's a JPY pair, you can look at the JPY basket. It's gonna help you to decide: am I gonna hold, or am I going to wait for price to, do its thing? Anyone with a question?